in the past. You know, if you become friends with the person who murdered your father, what does that make you?
An accomplice to murder.
An accomplice to murder.
Yeah.
Think about how many accomplices to murders there are around us right now. How many accomplices we have around us that are accomplices to polluting our history.
Yeah, and we're very complicit.
Yeah.
And we come by no force. Not at all, no force.
Yeah.
We come arms open even sometimes.
We always come arms open. We come arms closed to each other though. That's the way it works. We call each other brother and sister, but we really need to start calling each other enemies and call it like it is. So go try to figure out why are we enemies.
Yeah, once you get to the meat and bones of divisiveness, there is togetherness to an extent. It depends on how far the divide really is between y'all.
Yeah, that's true. Because some people are enemies and you had nothing to be enemies about. It's just because you never heard of them, you never seen them before. But you know that the stigma and the image that was portrayed, when they look like you, they're dangerous. So when you see someone who look like you, the first thing you think about is, oh, they dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do no business with them. You know what I mean? Like, it just comes to the point where we just at a place of...
I mean, you're going to sacrifice something to compromise with the look that they want. If you're willing to go that far. Like I have. I've dyed my hair. I've got my hair curlier because it's easier on the eyes.
Yeah.
But not for me.
Yeah.
It's for them.
Yeah.
It's always for them.
Yeah.
To get that ease off me.
Yeah.
Because I need it. Because sometimes I need a healthy distraction. Just to show the clear separation of me taking care of myself.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, you do need a healthy distraction away from those type of people. That's real.
It's like, how can you truly have a healthy distraction when you're sacrificing
who you are?
Who you are. Like, it's kind of like we're in a, and it's not even like a color thing. It's anyone who is going through these kind of identity crises. Anyone who has these preconceived notions about who they are and who they're supposed to be. We're fully aware that our history obviously is not our history. It's obviously not our history.
It's out of pocket because there were so many people that probably foresee the world that we're living in that we don't know about. Think about that. Somebody probably was sitting there pondering as if we ponder about the future right now.
Yeah.
And how things are going to go and how things should go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they had the ideology of what the world for them or their kids is going to look like. But it was a real discussion.
No, but I understand that discussion, but it's like you got to be able to tell your kids who they are.
But that information wasn't even recorded because we didn't even know how to read and write.
When?
Just back in slavery. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Oh, of course. Of course, we didn't know how to read and write because of someone else's words. Someone else's.
I always try to say that. Like, I don't know how people just give in to that ideology so much without understanding who really wrote it.
Yeah, like who really wrote this stuff? Like we completely like. And one of the episodes when we was talking about loss, like we didn't break down exactly what loss means, but this is what loss means. Loss means when you're living without a purpose. What gives you purpose is who you are. Now, you say, I know who I am, I'm 30 years old, or I'm whatever years old, right? Okay. You know who you are 30 years old, but do you know who you were before you was even born? You know what you was meant to do before you was born? Do you know what your bloodline did before slavery? Do you know what your bloodline did before your whole family just was called the Bastard Jon Snow? Did you know like think about it. The world is gonna say you a bastard like they did with Jon Snow on Game of Thrones. But
yeah, if you really make it, yeah, and you're from the slums, and if you get it from the mud, yeah, they're definitely gonna view you like that.
But the thing is, there were some people who did know who Jon Snow was. That was this crazy part about Game of Thrones. What's crazy about Game of Thrones is some people knew who he was and they didn't even say nothing. Even his own father,
Yeah.
his own dad. We living in a world where we have fathers. We need to say it like it is. And they not even telling us who we are. Our mothers aren't telling us who we are. Now, do they know? Maybe not. Maybe they do, but it's like we live in a world where history is so tough to embrace because it's so much bloodshed when it comes to our people. No one wants to talk about it. Everybody in our anyone who doesn't know their history and you're letting a whole nother system teach you about your history, you are the dust specks that they're sweeping under the rug.
Oh God.
They sweeping your history under the rug. They sweeping who you are under the rug.
I think more so what's passed on in the African American community, if that's the name that we want to go by, is more personality traits that we pass on to the kids more than principles and family lines and bloodline and stuff like that.
Personality traits.
Yeah,
Right.
we pass that on because we imitate what our parents was or what an uncle was, and we imitate the love that they showed to the family and we make it our own family. Is there a lot of trauma trapped in those personality traits? Of course.
Yeah, there is.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
But we're here at a point in time where at least we have that.
And personal experience too. I cannot fault my mother for me asking my mom, who am I? Who am I? Because I catch myself doing that sometimes. Of course, it's disrespectful because your parent is in the same position you are. They just stopped asking questions. They stopped doing as much research. They're old now, they're frail.
Yeah.
They've accepted it and they assimilate it. It's fine. But this is the reason why. This is what gives me more strength to even find out who I am. Because I don't want to get to that point where I'm accepting of his story. I can't accept that because I can feel it within myself because I reached myself to a place where now I do love myself. Now I do love people around me. So due to the fact now I know I love myself and I do love people around me and I love my people, now it's time for me to understand where did this love manifest from. You know? I need to understand that. And I need to understand like why so much love has been kept away from my people. Why has love been kept away from my mother? Why has love been kept away from my bloodline? And the history is gonna tell me that. My true story.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it true story, not history. True story. You know? And it's no fault to the people system who we're under. It's no fault to them. Because if anyone believes in Darwinism, then you're gonna think survival of the fittest. And guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna continue to clap the less fortunate and hold to high esteem those who are just like you. But in the much more connection to the earth and the universe, there's an injustice that's been done. A huge injustice that has been done, John.
Yeah, so much is kept away in the dark, especially the feelings part. The feelings from all that,
Yeah.
so much cloak and dagger. It's like, how do you really find a middle ground to really play at?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what happens so many times. We just play the extreme or very seldomly like outbursts,
Yeah.
you know? But your outbursts eventually become your extreme if you fall in love with that expression, you know?
No, that's true.
I'm probably thankful more than that we can talk to that capacity daily.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? So it doesn't come off as extreme that we can express ourselves in public and have it be reality for a lot of people, but maybe not reality for us because we have to stay working and being diligent in who we are.
And trying to understand who we are, you know?
Yeah.
But they continue to teach us things that are just not true. We obviously can tell we're not the same. Black people aren't black because we've been in the sun. And white people aren't white because they've been in the cold. That's a lie. Or we'll be seeing some white people transitioning into black, and we'll be seeing some black people transition into white. Very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah. It's very effective way to look at things.
No, and like evolution, we'll see some monkeys transitioning into humans.
Oh, very soon.
And not no chips being implanted, not no surgeries being done. We'll literally just see regular monkeys. We should have seen regular monkeys by now. That's like in 2 more years, I'll be a full human. Like,
yeah. There will be some Caesars out there.
It's just a lie.
There's
just
too
to
many
keep us
experiments
continuing.
they carrying out on human beings and animals. First of all, people be forgetting what PETA really stands for, and realize you don't got a PETA for niggas, okay?
Yeah.
There is no PETA for us.
Yeah.
NAACP, that's a joke sometimes.
Yeah. No, that ain't a joke sometimes. It goes to the same system that has broken us down, and they say, can we do something for them? And you know the system always says, hell fuck no. Do something for one of them.
Gonna ask what's the ticket. They always do. If it's feasible for business, it's feasible. You know what I mean? Like, it's a disgrace to see what they stand behind sometimes.
The president, I don't remember his name, but people can easily look this up. President of Egypt said, he was talking about the Jews, and he said, the Jews have rights to Egypt. The only issue he had is that they left black and they came back to Egypt white. We cannot accept that. That's what he said. Meaning, of course, the people they're gonna say, "Oh, I don't know what people would say." To be real with this comment, but what I see in that comment and what the Egyptian president said, this was back in the days. It's like, I don't know how long ago, but this is easily researched. But what he's saying is, the Jews left Egypt, and when they came back, they came white.
Well, yeah, somebody took their religion.
Basically, someone stole the identities of who the Jews were, and they came back and said, "Here, I got legal documents. I'm Jew."
Yeah.
They got legal documents. We're living in a system where you have birthrights. You have land that is entitled to you. You have kingdoms that is entitled to you. But due to the fact that switched up the system and they did everything they burnt your documents.
They rigged the election.
They burnt your documents and they reprinted out some other documents and they went to go and get your stuff.
That was the first identity fraud.
Oh, man.
And they try to determine what the fuck fraud is.
And they call the black people scammers.
Listen.
And we the scammers. And people be scammers. Come on now. Let's be real.
Now. There's so much has been stolen from us. And they're repeat offenders.
It's nothing but
Come on now.
repeat
How many times in life will they continue to steal from us and we accept it?
Just allow us to have the time to understand the movements that we make and to understand the habits that we're taking, to understand like just the reason why we're being the way we are, so we could take a part of that and go into history, because that's what I've been doing with myself lately. Lately I've been trying to understand why I act the way I act, and I've been taking it to Google or any kind of place I could go and look for research and say, hey, where do I get this from? And then say, oh, something back in Africa or something like that. So it's like, we have to understand these simple things that we have within ourselves, and we have to bring those out. When we bring those out, do more research on those things. And it always takes me back to where I'm from. Always take me back to where I'm from. Now, I wish I had names.
I know, to connect with the faces.
I wish I had names to connect with the faces and the actions.
Right.
And that's sad. We don't got no faces, no
but
names.
that's why I said we heavily identify with family traits and personality traits.
Yeah.
That's why so many people act like Martin, act like Gina.
Yeah.
So many people act like Will Smith.
Yeah.
Because we needed an identity to latch on to. Because we already been scammed so much.
That's true.
Now this is his story, but a true story.
True story.
Trauma Unit Podcast signing out. Joe Sway and myself, John. Peace.